side you go in.
Probably not 10 minutes. Yeah, you can do it. Thank you. Yep.
Get a better understanding of how to read the result, because there's so much information. We have an expert here that's going to do that for us. So I'll let Dan go ahead and say something.
I have a soft spot. I will use this. Just turn it all the way up, Dan. Just put that switch out. Hello. So welcome. My name is Dan Chapwick, Superintendent of Sultan School District. I want to thank everybody for being here. The Healthy Youth Survey is a survey that we've given to kids for many years. It's given every other year. The most recent time we gave it was in 2023. And it gives us a whole variety of information about our students that they report. And we take that information and try to learn from it and understand what the kids' challenges are at school, at home, and just in their lives in general. And so, without further ado, I'm going to pass it off to Miyuki. Did I say that correctly? Miyuki. She is from the Department of Health in Everett, and I want to really appreciate her coming out to do this. We haven't even combed through this year's results as a school district. We just got them released. We're going to post on our website. We're doing a workshop on May 13th at one of our study sessions to get the board up to speed on all the data sets, and then following that we will post all the information. And so without further ado, I'm going to pass it off to Miyuki.
All right. Sorry, while I adjust my technology. Hi, everybody. My name is Miyuki. I am one of the epidemiologists at the Snohomish County Health Department, and said based out of Everett. I do a lot of number things. That's what I do. Occasionally, if I'm made to, I'll do disease outbreak control too. But that is not my specialty, my forte, and especially after COVID, not my desired area of work. I like doing things related to kids and mothers and family health. So the Healthy Youth Survey is one of the many tools that I use in my body of work. All right. So today's session is going to go over some things. Like a good government worker, I like my acronyms. These are a few of the ones that you might see today or that I might use. Confidence intervals might be seen with the acronym CI. Healthy Youth Survey, which is the star of today's show. HYS, and School District SE. Today, we're not going to go over a bunch of data. It's just going to kind of be a review of the Healthy Youth Survey itself, what it is, what new shiny tools are available to the public and me, and how to interpret results, what you can do with results, some examples of how, results in the Healthy Youth Survey in particular have been used to make some positive change in places. And then we're going to have a little exercise at the end as well for you guys. And, all right. Okay, so what is it, Healthy Youth Survey? It is a statewide survey survey that asked students about a ton of things related to their health. Mental health, physical health, social health, family health. It asked them about their attitudes, their beliefs, their behaviors, their feelings, protective factors, things that are good, contribute well to their health, risk factors, things that do the opposite. It's a result of a ton of years of collaboration. It's been going on for a while. It's a collaboration between our state health department, the Washington Healthcare Authority, the Liquor and Cannabis Board, the OSCI Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction, and I think tribes are also included in there as well. And for myself, at the local health department level, I have some input and I use it myself, so we are included in those partnerships, but I don't put the survey out necessarily. Who is surveyed? 6th to 12th grade. Usually like at the county level or the state level, it goes every other grade, so 6th grade, 8th grade, 12th grade, I skipped one, 10th grade, 12th grade. For smaller school districts such as Sultan's, superintendents have the option, and Dan did, of surveying the in-between grades. So all grades 6th through 12th grade. And that's just because you can capture more children that way. And that option I think was in more recent years. I don't remember off the top of my head when they started doing that, but I think the past few survey years they've given that option. Importantly, for these students, the survey is anonymous and it is voluntary. So they're not made to do it and it is not intended. They don't put their name on it or anything. It happens every other year up until something that happened in 2020. It was administered during the even years. So through 2018, it was on the even years, and then 2021 forward, we had to skip a year because of COVID. Just like everyone else, everyone's life got poured in, right? So now 2021, and now this current season of the survey, 2023, it will be in the odd years. And so the intention with that is that you're using the same cohort or the same group of kids, so you're following them as they age. So the kids that took the survey in 6th grade in 2021 will now be in 8th grade in 2023. And then in the next survey year in 2025, they'll be in 10th grade and then so on and so forth. So it's a really great way to see how the kids grow through the years. Oh, and I have a note here. It's been in place for like 2 decades, so early 2000s. It's a long time. So I didn't say already, it's administered through the school setting. One important note, this most recent year is the first time that it's been fully administered online. Previously, during COVID, a lot of kids got used to doing a lot of school stuff online. The large majority of our county did theirs online too, but this year's was the first time that everyone did it fully online. I think there are some remote options available for kids who are in alternative learning settings too. All right, and then it exists because it helps us monitor the health of our kids. It's one of the richest sources of information in our state for children's health. There are some really new and exciting surveys coming out for much younger groups, but for this adolescent age, this is, in my opinion, among the best. It's really well done. And people can use it. You know, it's a survey of the kids in a community, for the communities, for health departments, for social services, for community organizations. People use it for a lot of stuff like reporting or applying for grants. I used it recently in my countywide community health assessment. Not everything, there's a ton of stuff in there, but it's really, really rich. All right, Before we get into how to look at results, I just wanted to show you guys what is available to you online, because they've got a brand new website and it's real great. They have, if you go to askhys.net, you can also just Google Healthy Youth Survey Washington. It'll probably be the first link there. The main page, this is a part of a snippet of it. It'll take you right to all of the tools that are at your disposal. So if you go to the Explore results there, that'll take you right to that page. They've got a ton of new stuff, including a data dashboard. You can look at your information, the data by year, location, grade, special regions like the North-South region, for example, or educational service districts, non-geographic subgroups. This is, I believe, at the state level, but that might include things like racial ethnic groups, potentially disability status, what do I have here? Yeah, race, ethnicity, gender. Some data, I believe, goes all the way back to 2010. They may still be updating it, but that was the latest that I saw go back in there. And then this Q-by-Q analysis, I just wanted to point that out there in the bottom right corner. It's intended to be a tool for you to be able to cross one question, Q, by another question, which is really great. The only caveat is that everything here goes down to the county level at the smallest level. So there's some restrictions to data for sharing it publicly. And so for me as a county level person, that's great. For school districts, you know, it's up to the discretion of all of the superintendents at each place to protect their data. But either way, the website is really great. It's among the better ones that I've seen for sharing data with the public. There's a lot of stuff in there. So this is a snippet of that data dashboard. This is just an example of ESD 189, which is the one that Sultan is in. Just an example of the many data points that are there. It gives you a time trend. It gives you all of those breakdowns and map views, so you can look at this information by different grades, by different places, by different topics, by different questions. It's very rich. You can see there in the middle that COVID-19 caveat there, but yeah, super great tool. I even use it in my work. Okay, and then this tab I wanted to point out for resources. It has a lot of stuff in there for other ways if today's thing, if what I showed you guys today doesn't totally resonate with you, there's other ways to learn this information on the website. The testing significant difference, we'll go over that tool a little bit later. You can look at previous presentations for the Healthy Youth Survey by the State Health Department. So if you really want to get down into the weeds, this is where I would recommend you go. Okay. In addition to that, you can see the entire survey question set here. It's a lot. Be impressed with your kids. It's a lot of questions. And luckily, your superintendent finds this important enough that he has the kids do it. There aren't, not all places are quite as rigorous with it. So, and you guys had a really great participation rate, which I will show you in a bit. Yeah, and the frequency report thing that I mentioned up here is just, you'll see, I believe you can get it down to the county level. It's just each question and what the responses were for each one. It's a really convenient way to see everything in one big packet. Okay. All right. Any questions before I move on to actually interpreting the results? Yeah, just go to askhys.net. You can self-explore from there. All right, so for interpreting results, I'm going to go over a few concepts. Those are going to be those last 3 bullet points right there. I do want to point out COVID, cautionary tale for this. As we know, I mentioned the 2020 survey year got bumped a year. So firstly, we're not looking, if you do, we're not going over 2021 results today. But if you do decide to go back and look at stuff, just keep that in mind. It's not the same cohort, not the same group of children that's tested or that's surveyed every other year. Still important, still really great to know. It's still indicative of what kids were experiencing during that time. Just something to know. Interpret that with some caution. We all had dramatic changes to our lives then. So with that being said, this current year's results for 2023, they might give a better picture of, you know, how the COVID environment for children has resolved. And, you know, we suspect that we're moving into 2025, that'll give us even more information of, you know, that before, during, after. So we're kind of, in my opinion, we're still kind of in that like in-between phase. So just, you know, it's important to look at stuff as you go, but interpret it with caution. We might still be experiencing, my coworker put it very nicely, some artifacts of COVID. Okay. So first set of concepts. These validity, reliability, and representativeness are, I'm speaking specifically to the Healthy Youth Survey, but this applies for any tool where you're collecting information from people. So you can take this outside of the Healthy Youth Survey as well. So a survey is considered valid if it measures what it's supposed to measure. So in other words, are the questions asking what they're supposed to be asking? So for the Healthy Youth Survey, can we trust the results? So like if we wanted to know if we wanted to know what kind of ice, or how much kids like to eat ice cream in the summertime, we would want the questions to answer that question and not what flavors they like, right? That's not the best example, but you know, we want to make sure we're getting to what we want. So for the Healthy Youth Survey, we know it is valid. It's well established. I told you guys it's been going on for a couple decades, and they have really extensive procedures and protocols that they follow and certain parameters that they deliver the survey in that make sure that it's valid. For reliability, a survey is reliable if it's consistent and dependable. So are the students responding consistently, or do they tell the truth? And again, Healthy Youth Survey takes this into account. First of all, we know the responses are anonymous, which helps a lot in making sure that people, especially kids who are vulnerable, in a different way than adults can be when taking surveys like this, that really helps ensure that they're responding truthfully. And the importance of the survey is explained to the kids beforehand. It kind of gives them a little bit of, you know, none of us like to do stuff if we don't know why we're doing it, you know, at least I don't. And there are some elements of the survey that make sure, that actually ask kids, and you'll see this if you go into the reports, like how truthful were you when you were filling the survey out? And some kids say, not at all. Like, I lie all the time. So there are certain elements of the survey, or there might be some, like, I hate to call it like trick questions, but that might have like fake stuff. So, you know, the people who are smarter than me, that are super duper researchers, you know, they'll look and they'll see which ones are likely untruthful results, and it's very, very small across the board. So, but those are ways that they make sure that the survey is reliable. And then lastly, representativeness is really important. So survey is representative of students depending on the participation rate. This table is here, you guys can reference it. It's in a lot of the stuff that's online as well at the Healthy Survey website. But this is the breakdown. So basically, if you have a 70% or greater participation rate, you can, it's a pretty good indication that the results are representative of the students in that group that were surveyed, in that grade, for example. 40 to 69%, like, maybe, they may be. And then less than that, 40%, or less than 40% of participation rate means that it's still useful. You can still use that information, but it's representative of the kids who took the survey, not necessarily the entire grade. So that's really important to look at when you, any year that you look at a healthy survey result. This has not changed, so it would be surprising to me if that changed for the next survey year. This is the first thing that you should look at. What was the participation rate? Because that helps you set up how you understand and how you interpret those results. Luckily for us, Sultan School District had a really great participation rate. Kudos to them for that, because it was not the case across the county. Like I said, all grades were surveyed here, all above 70%. Excellent. So because of this, we know that these survey results are likely representative of the kids surveyed in that survey year in that grade. And just for a point of comparison, this is for the county. The in-between grades are grayed out because it's not all school districts surveyed their in-between grades, 7, 9, and 11. But grade 6 and grade 8, same interpretation, right? We know it's also above 70% or above. Grades 10, grades 12, like maybe. Just take that into account. Still really useful to know, but take that into account when interpreting your results or when looking at stuff if you're going to be comparing to the county, for example, like we are today. Okay. All right. Any questions on these 3 concepts before we move on? So this is kind of setting the stage for how you know, when you look at information that's collected. Help you survey, I think, yeah.
Is there any, I guess, any known success stories or techniques they have in other districts that they've applied to kind of help encourage more participation?
I do not know off the top of my head, but that would be a great question. I mean, as far as surveys go, this is really good. Honestly, it's really great. There are.
We'd be the ones to ask that because we're the ones that have the higher percentages, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I mean, I think, yeah, my answer to that is no, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot higher this year than it was the previous year, so that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, COVID wasn't particularly helpful either, so yeah, and I think, you know, the state has a part in that, and a lot of it is like communication and stuff, but as far as what I'm saying, like that is good to me. To me, that is a great standard. They met a great standard, so let's see. Okay, alrighty. I'll let you know though if I hear anything.